And my son is willing to go to 154 to fight this bum. And he don't want to take the fight. Why?
What happens when two of boxing's fiercest warriors, both world champions in their own right, clash outside the ring? Teofimo Lopez and Terence Crawford's feud is heating up, and it's not just about who's the better fighter, it's personal. Buckle up as we dive into the tension, trash talk, and rivalries that have captured the boxing world's attention. Teofimo Lopez Sr., the outspoken father and trainer of Teofimo Lopez, was recently asked about the origin of the tension between his son and Terence "Bud" Crawford. The bad blood seems to have escalated during an intense exchange where things took a personal turn. What started as competitive banter quickly devolved into threats, leaving Lopez Sr. concerned about Crawford's aggression. In an exclusive interview, Teofimo Sr. opened up about the heated moment, giving us an unfiltered look into how the beef began.
That mother... Get all your goons, motherfucker. I'm over here in Queens, motherfucker. Get all your goons and come and kill me. Mother.
Following this explosive outburst, the feud between the Lopez camp and Crawford only grew more intense. Teofimo Sr. insists that the situation could have spiraled out of control had cooler heads not prevailed. For him, the conflict with Crawford is more than just boxing rivalry. It's personal. As both sides continue to exchange words, the tension outside the ring could lead to even greater drama in the future. Could this escalating feud be a prelude to a blockbuster fight, or is it just another chapter in boxing's long history of fierce rivalries? After Teofimo Lopez Sr. revealed the threats he received from Terence Crawford, Crawford himself responded publicly, offering his side of the story. Crawford, known for his calm demeanor in the ring, rarely lets emotions spill over, but this time he made it clear that there are lines you don't cross. According to Crawford, the way Lopez and his camp went about challenging him was not only disrespectful, but also unprofessional. For Crawford, the issue wasn't about a fight, it was about respect. He said, "It's the way that you go about getting a fight. As a man, you're not about to disrespect me. I'm not disrespecting you as a man." Crawford emphasized that he has no issue with fighters calling him out. It's part of the sport. But in this case, it was more than just hype for a potential matchup. Lopez's attitude and disrespectful behavior during a face-to-face encounter pushed Crawford beyond his usual calm. This wasn't about selling tickets, this was personal. But also noted, this little mother just disrespectful. I seen him at the fight, he look at me, and he playing because he think everything's a game. He don't understand that I'll beat the FK out of him. With both sides firmly entrenched in their positions, it seems the tension between Lopez and Crawford is far from over. Crawford, typically unbothered by trash talk, feels that Lopez has crossed a boundary he won't let slide. The stage is now set for a potential clash, not just in the ring, but in the realm of respect. Fans are left wondering if this feud will culminate in an official fight, or if the rivalry will continue to simmer, escalating in intensity. Either way, the bad blood between these two warriors is undeniable. Teofimo Lopez's inflammatory remarks didn't sit well with many in the boxing community, especially Terence Crawford.
One of those two fights interests you more, Gervonta Davis or Terence Crawford?
Whichever monkey wants to get the banana. They say they're gorillas. I'm a lion, I eat them. Let's go.
Referring to both Crawford and Gervonta Davis as monkeys while comparing himself to a lion crossed a line that turned what could have been friendly competition into a deeply personal issue. While some fans saw it as typical pre-fight trash talk, others viewed it as disrespectful and racially charged, further escalating the feud. This comment would soon provoke a direct and fierce response from Crawford, who wasn't going to let it slide. Known for his professionalism inside and outside the ring, Crawford made it clear that there's a line between promoting a fight and showing blatant disrespect. In a no-nonsense interview, Crawford explained how Lopez's approach was far from acceptable. While trash talk is common in boxing, for Crawford, Lopez's behavior crossed a boundary, and he was quick to address it. He said, "Teo, he's a bitch. It's a way that you go about getting a fight. As a man, you're not about to disrespect me because I'm not disrespecting you as a man. When I call somebody out, I never disrespected Spence when I called Spence out. I never disrespected Canelo when I called Canelo out. I always acknowledge them. I always acknowledge their skills. I'm a fan of Spence still. I'm a fan of Canelo still, and it was that." Crawford's point was simple. Respect is earned in the ring and outside of it. He's called out legends like Errol Spence Jr. and Canelo Alvarez without without ever resorting to personal attacks, letting his skills and accomplishments do the talking. In Crawford's eyes, Lopez's tactics aren't just disrespectful, they're desperate. With no big-name fight lined up and his career stalling, Lopez's antics seem like an attempt to stay relevant by stirring the pot, but for Crawford, actions speak louder than words. Crawford said Teo is like the little kid that's screaming for attention. Had me or Tank called him a racial slur, they would have been trying to cancel us. Calling us racist, it would have been all over the news. Terence Crawford, reacting to Lopez's remark, points out the double standard in the boxing world. If fighters like himself or Gervonta Tank Davis had made a similar comment, the consequences would have been much harsher. But why didn't Teofimo receive that same level of criticism? After receiving significant backlash for his controversial monkey remarks directed at Terence Crawford and Gervonta Davis, Teofimo Lopez found himself in hot water. His words, meant to generate hype for a potential fight, were instead taken as offensive by many in the boxing world. Recognizing the gravity of the situation and the potential damage to his reputation, Lopez sought to clarify his intentions. When confronted about his comments, Teofimo quickly reconsidered his approach and tried to defuse the situation.
Fighters that are the best at what they do just as much as I do. I'm not talking about everyone. I'm not talking about people's color. I'm really just trying to get at these guys so they can at least bark a little bit so we can make a fight. That's really it. I don't want to take anything out of context, you know, and people could say a lot of things, but I just want to fight.
Terence Crawford who?
Exactly. Terence Crawford who? Indeed. That's what I'm talking about. So for myself, it's just all about making the best fights happen, and that's what everybody needs.
In an attempt to backtrack, Lopez explained that his remarks were not intended to be racially charged or disrespectful.
Do I want Crawford? Absolutely. What kind of question is that? See, y'all don't understand, man. I aim for greatness. And what is that? Fighting the best. Crawford says he's the best. I know I'm the best. Let's make the fight happen. First things first, though, we got to knock out.
He insisted that his comments were simply the result of his desire to secure a fight with Crawford or Tank Davis, and he never meant to cross a line. However, despite his clarification, the damage had already been done, and the tension between him and Crawford continued to simmer. Whether Lopez's explanation will be enough to calm the storm or further fuel the feud remains to be seen. Crawford added, "The hatred that's within always shows. That's not something that just came out. That's something that's been inside that man, something he was taught as a little kid." Perhaps the reason Lopez avoided major backlash is simple. His career hasn't been the same since 2020. After his shocking loss to George Kambosos Jr. and subpar performances against Steve Claggett, Jermaine Ortiz, Sandor Martin, and Pedro Campa, Teofimo's once bright star has dimmed.
Iron Bud Crawford coming out right now. Crawford, that's what you want.
No, anybody but a dead body.
You're gonna want this, Chris. You're gonna make sure he gets your attention, huh? Here he comes right now.
Yeah, you should sit right there. Okay, sit right here. Let me get this. No, I'm gonna get you.
With his career faltering, Lopez seems desperate for a big fight and a big payday. Some believe that's why he's resorting to provocative language, hoping to push Crawford into a fight. Bud stated, "Teofimo is disrespectful. He's playing because he thinks everything's a game, but he doesn't understand I will beat the stuffing out of him." But Crawford has no interest. Teofimo's star power has faded, and a fight with him offers little financial incentive. For Crawford, the disrespect goes deeper than boxing hype. It's personal. With no fight on the horizon, the war of words continues, leaving fans wondering, will Lopez find a way to redeem himself, or is this the beginning of the end for The Takeover? Teofimo Lopez, visibly frustrated, takes to his Twitter X profile to voice his concerns, calling out the politics that often overshadow the sport. He writes, "Boxing is a sport. Please stop trying to make the business more important than us fighting for the best against the best." His message reflects his growing impatience with the boxing industry's bureaucracy, but it doesn't take long for Terence Crawford to respond.
And what do you think about it? Good. Hey,
What? Did you just say that?
he's not in there.
Did he just say that? Oh my gosh. Bro, Hall of Fame at 25 in boxing. And you just...
Shortly after, Crawford fires back on the same platform, using colorful language to send a direct message to Lopez. "Teofimo Lopez looks like you the one in a up situation with Top Rank. You want to fight, what's you contracted to fight for? Crawford's tweet not only calls out Lopez, but also points to his ongoing relationship with Top Rank Boxing, the agency Crawford had previously split from. For those unaware, Crawford's jab refers to his own past dealings with Top Rank, while Lopez remains under the promotion. Crawford's latest fight was promoted by BLK Prime and Premier Boxing Champion, PBC, signaling his move away from Top Rank and implying that Lopez's alliance may be hindering his opportunities. Adding a laughing emoji, Crawford doesn't miss the chance to directly ask Lopez if he wants to fight, making his intentions crystal clear. The exchange between the two is more than just a war of words. It's a call to action. Lopez has long expressed interest in fighting the likes of Terence Crawford, Gervonta Davis, or Devin Haney. With tensions escalating and social media becoming the battleground, it seems like a showdown between Lopez and Crawford is edging closer to reality.
So with you being the lineal champion, things like that.
I know Crawford.
Yeah.
I know Terence Crawford. That's a guy. That's a good guy. He's a good fighter. I know him.
He's all the way up at 54, though. Could you go all the way to, past 47 and go straight to 54?
Yeah. I'm case. Yes, I am. I'll go right to it. I mean, how many times people have done it? And maybe they not have succeeded, but that's the beauty of it.
Charlo just did it with Canelo. 2 weight
Okay,
classes, yeah.
exactly. So why can't I do it? And the beauty of it is that I will succeed from it. So that makes me it makes it much sweeter when we win.
How do you beat a guy like Terence Crawford?
The question is how you not beat a guy like Terence Crawford.
Well, I need you to tell me because he's considered.
Well, that's for me to know and for y'all to find out when we fight.
Oh, let's win?
Yeah.
Despite the escalating tension and trash talk, Teofimo Lopez remains unwavering in his belief that he can defeat Terence Crawford. Lopez has expressed confidence that despite Crawford's impressive record and dominance in the sport, he has the skills, speed, and power to outbox the 37-year-old champion. For Lopez, this isn't just about hype, it's about proving that he can compete with the best. In his mind, a fight with Crawford would be the perfect opportunity to showcase his talent and redeem his career after recent setbacks. Teofimo Lopez is adamant about his desire to fight Terence Crawford, asserting that he's ready to take on the challenge head first. In a recent interview, he confidently stated, "I'll go Crawford first, and then we can talk about things." This declaration highlights Lopez's determination to face one of boxing's elite, signaling his commitment to re-establishing himself as a top contender. Lopez continued to analyze both Crawford and Gervonta Davis, sharing his thoughts on their fighting styles. "What holes do you see in this game? I see both. Both of them have holes." He paused before elaborating. "I think the main hole that they have is they don't believe in themselves." His bold assertion not only reflects his confidence, but also his belief that mental fortitude plays a significant role in the ring. For Lopez, identifying these holes in his opponent's games is part of his strategy, as he prepares for what he hopes will be a defining fight against Crawford. As the rivalry between Teofimo Lopez and Terence Crawford intensifies, Lopez is not just looking to make a name for himself, he's also preparing to fight strategically. In a recent interview, he expressed his determination to adapt his fighting style to match the demands of high-stakes matchups. With a fierce determination in his voice, he warned, "I haven't yet even put in any type of dirty tactics that are legal in the sport of boxing just yet, but I'm going to because it's time to start really fighting the way they fight." Lopez's declaration reflects his understanding that in elite boxing, winning often requires more than just skill. It involves a psychological edge and the willingness to use all tools available within the rules. He continued, emphasizing the technical aspect of his approach, stating, "Yeah, you guys haven't seen the dirty side of me yet. You will, but it's very technical. It's very technical though, it's legal. It's not illegal, it's legal and it works." This insight into Lopez's strategy reveals that he is not only confident in his abilities, but also aware of the psychological games often played in the ring. His willingness to explore the legal tactics that can give him an advantage hints at his preparation to take on Crawford, showcasing his desire to evolve as a fighter. As he gears up for a potential clash, Lopez aims to bring a new dimension to his game, demonstrating that he is ready to push boundaries and leave it all in the ring. The fight is not just about proving he can beat Crawford, it's about showing the world he can outsmart and outmaneuver one of boxing's best. The stage is set, and Lopez's next steps could be pivotal in determining the outcome of this fierce rivalry. As the rivalry between Teofimo Lopez and Terence Crawford heats up, Crawford recently took to Twitter to throw down a challenge. "You fight and beat Israel Madrimov next, I'll next bet? Now let's see how much you want to fight, he suggested. This challenge reflects Crawford's confidence and willingness to take on Lopez, but it also puts the onus on Lopez to prove himself against a formidable opponent first. Lopez did not reply directly to the challenge, though did tell Crawford, "We either lace up the gloves or your hoe ass up." He currently doesn't have a fight scheduled, and it's unclear if he will vacate his world title at 140 to move up, even regardless of scoring the Crawford fight. As for Bud, he is still in hot pursuit of a further move up in weight of his own, continuing to call out Saul Canelo Alvarez. Should that fail to materialize, he is in ordered talks with Sebastian Fundora for a unification fight. But later on, Lopez didn't shy away from the exchange and responded with his own bold offer. Laugh now, cry later. Terence Crawford, I'll fight you for free. Destroying your legacy is worth more than money to me. This statement illustrates Lopez's determination to prove himself against Crawford, indicating that he sees a fight with Crawford not just as a financial opportunity, but as a chance to solidify his place in boxing history. While the prospect of a fight between the two seems tantalizing, it's complicated by weight class issues. Crawford has been moving up in weight, making an immediate matchup unlikely unless Lopez puts on weight himself. The tension escalated further when the two confronted each other ringside during Canelo Alvarez's victory over Edgar Berlanga, a clear indication that their rivalry is reaching fever pitch. Lopez believes he has the tools to defeat Crawford if they ever meet in the ring. He explained, "It's not about that, it's about how you dissect it, how you're able to range it. Guys with long arms take longer to bring it back." He emphasized the strategic advantages he perceives in Crawford's style, stating, "So in those moments when they're trying to bring those punches back, you've got your moment to take advantage of it." Drawing from his past experiences, Lopez referenced his fight with Josh Taylor, saying, "Look, I fought Josh Taylor, long arms, I took advantage of that, and Crawford is very wide." He pointed out that Crawford's long, lanky physique could be a potential vulnerability in their matchup, suggesting that he's ready to exploit any openings. With both fighters making bold claims and the rivalry intensifying, fans are left wondering when or if these two will finally meet in the ring. The anticipation is building and the stakes are higher than ever. As the tension between Teofimo Lopez and Terence Crawford escalates, Lopez finds himself increasingly frustrated with the circumstances surrounding their potential matchup and the boxing world as a whole. In a candid moment, he expressed his feelings about the underlying issues within the sport, stating, "What I think is full of racism in this shit, because when yes it is, because at the same time, and racism is in many different ways. It is not just by color, my man, it's in many different ways." Lopez's remarks indicate his belief that the challenges he faces are not solely based on his performance in the ring, but also influenced by external factors that he perceives as biased against him. He emphasizes the need for awareness around these issues, urging his audience to understand the deeper implications of racism in boxing, which can manifest in various forms beyond just racial discrimination.
You guys take this shit too personal. It's business. Everything's business. Everything. And the thing that hurts the most is that I bled for this, I sweated for this, and I cried for this. And all you guys, nothing. Not even put me on the screen so the public could see Teofimo again.
This statement of Teofimo underscores the emotional toll that the situation has taken on him. Lopez feels he has dedicated himself fully to the sport, yet he believes that the powers that be in boxing have failed to recognize his efforts and contributions. His frustration is palpable as he conveys a sense of neglect and a desire for validation, longing for the opportunity to showcase his talent to the public once more. In this emotional plea, Lopez not only highlights his passion for boxing, but also expresses his desire for recognition and fairness within the sport.
Best dance partner in boxing right now.
As a fighter?
Yeah.
Crawford.
All right.
Oh,
Me and Crawford.
Because you walked up to me yesterday and you said I completely.
Oh,
So you really are you pursuing that?
If it comes.
What do you like about that fight? Like when you said
Challenges. I love challenges, yo.
Yeah, that's a hell of a challenge.
As the rivalry between Teofimo Lopez and Terence Crawford reaches a boiling point, the stakes have never been higher. With both fighters throwing down challenges and making bold claims, the anticipation for a potential matchup is palpable.
Wanting a fight with Terence Crawford, why do you want to fight with him so bad?
Because out of despair, out of a mountain of despair, a stone of hope. And that's what it's all about. Isn't it about the best fighting the best? He's only one class away from me. Canelo is 3 weight classes away from him. So what makes it more of an ideal fight? Come on now. But I think it's It's the fear of the unknown that get people not wanting to take the action. So when I'm victorious on Thursday, yeah, we make the fight happen. You know, he's gonna definitely want tons of money to face me. Yeah, however, you know, we could talk about maybe even it being out there in the Middle East, or maybe it just a good investor that I may have and I could bring on to here. Maybe if I just let them know how much of the turnaround can be if they invest in me and Crawford, we'll have a fight in the United States of America.
Lopez's determination to prove himself and his frustrations with the boxing establishment paint a picture of a fighter who is willing to do whatever it takes to reclaim his place at the top. Crawford, on the other hand, remains confident in his abilities and is ready to defend his legacy against any challenger who dares step into the ring with him. The dynamic between Lopez and Crawford is not just about personal grudges, it symbolizes the broader struggles within the boxing world, including issues of recognition, respect, and the ongoing influence of politics in the sport. Both fighters have much to gain and lose if they ever meet in the ring. With Lopez's confidence in his strategy and Crawford's experience and skill set, a clash between them promises to be a thrilling showdown filled with drama, skill, and high stakes. As the boxing community watches closely, fans are left to wonder, will Lopez's passion and determination be enough to topple a seasoned champion like Crawford? Or will Crawford's experience and strategic fighting style prevail? What do you think? Is Teofimo Lopez ready to take on Terence Crawford, or is he underestimating the challenge ahead? Share your thoughts in the comments section below.